While everyone knew Harley-Davidson was struggling, what if I told you their latest financial reports just revealed a catastrophic collapse so severe that bankruptcy might be inevitable? The numbers are so shocking, so absolutely devastating, that industry experts are now openly discussing whether this legendary American brand will even exist in 2026. And honestly, at this point, even their own accountants are probably updating their resumes and learning how to say, "Would you like fries with that?" in multiple languages. The bombshell that's destroying 121 years of motorcycle heritage isn't just one bad decision. It's a systematic corporate disaster that has left Harley bleeding money faster than a tourist in Vegas, with a gambling addiction, no self-control, and a credit card with no limit. But the most infuriating part? They did this to themselves. It's like watching someone set their own house on fire and then complaining about the heat while asking for marshmallows to roast and wondering why their insurance premiums are going up. Let's start with the numbers that should terrify every Harley investor and break the heart of every American rider who ever dreamed of cruising down Route 66 with the wind in their hair and freedom in their soul. In Q4 2024, Harley's motorcycle revenue didn't just decline, it collapsed by 60%. Unit sales plummeted 53% year over year. The company posted a staggering $116 million loss in a single quarter. That's not just bad. That's maybe we should have stuck to making actual motorcycles instead of whatever this electric nonsense is. Bad. But wait, it gets worse. Much worse. Like watching a horror movie where the main character keeps making obviously terrible decisions, and you're screaming at the screen, "Don't go in the basement!" while they're already halfway down the stairs with a flickering flashlight. By the first quarter of 2025, revenue had fallen another 23%, and net income dropped 43%. U.S. sales, their home market, the birthplace of the brand, the land of the free and home of the Harley, crashed by 24%. Global shipments fell 17% in 2024 alone. These aren't just bad numbers. These are the financial vital signs of a company on life support and someone just tripped over the power cord while texting their ex about getting back together. The most shocking revelation that should make every business school professor weep into their tenure coffee. Harley's leadership was so panicked by their own disaster that they completely withdrew their 2025 financial guidance. Think about that for a moment. A publicly traded company with over a century of history, more heritage than most European countries, just told investors, "We have no idea what's going to happen to us. Your guess is as good as ours. Maybe we'll sell motorcycles, maybe we'll pivot to selling artisanal cheese, maybe we'll start a cryptocurrency called Harley Coin." That's not a business strategy. That's corporate white flag waving that would make France proud and surrender experts everywhere nod in approval. But here's where this story goes from tragic to absolutely infuriating. Like finding out your favorite pizza place has been using ketchup instead of tomato sauce and calling it authentic Italian cuisine. The decision that's killing Harley-Davidson is their obsession with the LiveWire electric motorcycle disaster. And when I say disaster, I mean the kind of disaster that makes the Titanic look like a minor parking mishap at a shopping mall. The LiveWire isn't just a failed product. It's a financial black hole that's sucking the life out of the entire company with the efficiency of a cosmic vacuum cleaner operated by someone who really, really hates money and wants to see it disappear as quickly as possible. In the first quarter of 2025, LiveWire sold exactly 33 motorcycles. 33. That's not a typo. That's not a misprint. That's not even a rounding error. That's the actual, real, honest-to-goodness number that someone had to report to shareholders with a straight face. A major American manufacturer with decades of engineering expertise, a global dealer network, and more marketing budget than most small countries' GDP, managed to sell 33 electric motorcycles in 3 months. I've seen Girl Scout cookie sales with better quarterly performance, and those kids are literally just standing outside grocery stores with boxes. The financial carnage from this disaster is mind-blowing in the worst possible way. Like watching a train wreck in slow motion while eating popcorn and wondering how it could possibly get worse. Despite selling virtually nothing, and I mean nothing, like a lemonade stand in Antarctica during a blizzard, LiveWire posted a $20 million operating loss in Q1 2025 alone. They're losing money faster than a gambler with a foolproof system at a rigged casino, and about as successfully too. It's like they're trying to set a world record for most creative ways to burn through cash while accomplishing absolutely nothing. But here's the part that will make your blood boil, your wallet cry, and your faith in government spending evaporate like water in Death Valley during a heat wave. The federal government gave Harley $89 million in taxpayer money to boost LiveWire production. $89 million of your hard-earned money, money that could have fixed roads, funded schools, or literally been set on fire for more entertainment value, to help them build motorcycles that apparently nobody wants to buy. It's like paying someone to dig holes and then fill them back up, except less productive, more expensive, and somehow even more pointless. The results of this taxpayer-funded disaster that would make government waste watchdogs weep? Sales collapsed by 72% year over year. Even with massive government subsidies, unlimited marketing budgets, celebrity endorsements that nobody asked for, and the full weight of the Harley-Davidson brand behind it, the LiveWire has never, not once, not even close, not even in their wildest dreams, posted a profitable quarter since its founding. They took $89 million in taxpayer money and turned it into the most expensive failure in motorcycle history. That's some next-level alchemy right there, turning gold into lead. But with extra steps, government paperwork, and a complete disregard for basic economics. The pricing strategy alone reveals how completely disconnected Harley's leadership has become from reality. Like they're living in an alternate dimension where money grows on trees, customers love overpaying for underperforming products, and basic math doesn't apply to business decisions. The LiveWire starts at around $19,000 for a motorcycle with limited range, no soul, and none of the rumbling V-twin character that defines the Harley experience and makes grown men weep with joy. For the same money, you could buy a traditional Harley that actually sounds like a Harley, performs like a Harley, and doesn't leave you stranded when the battery dies at the worst possible moment. Or you could buy a really nice car that actually gets you places. Or take a very long vacation to somewhere exotic where they still appreciate internal combustion engines. Or invest in literally anything else with a better return on investment, including lottery tickets, cryptocurrency, or a time machine to go back and stop this disaster from happening. But the real insult to longtime riders isn't just the price. It's what the LiveWire represents in the grand scheme of motorcycle culture and American values. This is a company that built its reputation on freedom, rebellion, and the raw power of American engineering that made the rest of the world jealous. The LiveWire is quiet, clean, and completely soulless. It's everything that Harley-Davidson was never supposed to be. It's like McDonald's deciding to only serve kale salads and quinoa bowls while playing elevator music, and wondering why their customers are confused and heading to Burger King for actual food. The market response has been swift and brutal, like a bad breakup, but with more financial consequences, fewer angry text messages, and a lot more public humiliation. Traditional Harley customers aren't just avoiding the LiveWire, they're abandoning the brand entirely, like passengers fleeing a sinking ship while the captain insists everything is fine and suggests they try the shuffleboard. When your core customers see you pouring resources into products that contradict everything you've ever stood for, they start looking elsewhere. And boy, are they finding better options faster than you can say authentic American motorcycle with actual character. Indian Motorcycle, Harley's historic rival that's been waiting decades for this exact moment, like a patient predator, has been gaining market share while Harley bleeds customers like a leaky faucet in a drought-stricken desert. European manufacturers are eating Harley's lunch in the premium segment and probably laughing while they do it in multiple languages with superior engineering. Even smaller American manufacturers are stealing customers who feel betrayed by Harley's electric obsession, like a motorcycle version of David versus Goliath, except Goliath keeps hitting himself in the face with his own sling, while David just stands there amazed. The leaked internal documents paint an even more disturbing picture, Like finding out your favorite restaurant has been serving microwaved food this whole time while charging steakhouse prices and claiming it's artisanal. While LiveWire was burning through millions of dollars and selling almost nothing to anyone who actually rides motorcycles, Harley was cutting R&D budgets for their traditional motorcycle lineup. The bikes that actually generate revenue, that actually have customers who love them, that actually represent what Harley-Davidson means to millions of riders worldwide, those were starved of investment to fund the electric disaster. They literally robbed their successful products to pay for their failures. It's like taking money from your profitable lemonade stand to fund your failing pet rock business. Except pet rocks might actually have better sales numbers and more customer satisfaction. The human cost of this corporate insanity is staggering and heartbreaking in ways that go beyond mere numbers. Dealerships across the country are struggling as customers lose faith in the brand faster than trust in a politician during election season. Skilled workers who spent their careers building real motorcycles, who take genuine pride in American craftsmanship and engineering excellence, are being laid off while resources are wasted on electric experiments that nobody wants, nobody asked for, and nobody understands the point of. These aren't just statistics on a spreadsheet. These are real people with families, mortgages, dreams, and a deep love for the motorcycles they've spent their lives building. One particularly heartbreaking example came from a Wisconsin dealer who told local news with visible emotion, "I've been selling Harleys for 30 years. I've seen recessions, market changes, competition from overseas, but I've never seen customers this angry, this disappointed, this betrayed. They feel like the company they supported their whole lives, that they brought their kids to see, that represents their values, has abandoned them for some trendy nonsense that has nothing to do with motorcycles." That's not just business feedback. That's a relationship status update from "it's complicated" to blocked on all social media platforms and changed phone numbers. But perhaps the most damaging aspect of this entire disaster is what it reveals about Harley's leadership and their complete, total, absolute disconnect from the customers who built this brand with their loyalty, passion, and hard-earned money. These aren't just bad business decisions made by people having a rough quarter. They're ideological choices that prioritize political correctness over customer satisfaction, government subsidies over market demand, and corporate virtue signaling over the American values that built the brand. The LiveWire wasn't created because customers demanded it. It wasn't developed because market research showed a need. It wasn't even created because it made financial sense. It exists because Harley's executives wanted to chase ESG investment trends and government green energy subsidies, regardless of whether it made sense for their business, their customers, their employees, or basic mathematics. They chose politics over profits, ideology over customers, and virtue signaling over the values that made Harley legendary. And now they're paying the price, and so are their shareholders, employees, dealers, and the entire American motorcycle community that believed in them. The financial projections are terrifying, like a horror movie, but with spreadsheets, PowerPoint presentations, and consultants who charge $500 an hour to tell you what your customers have been screaming for free. Industry analysts are openly discussing bankruptcy scenarios with the enthusiasm of meteorologists predicting Category 5 hurricanes. The stock price has cratered harder than a meteorite hitting Earth at terminal velocity. Major investors are dumping their positions faster than people leaving a bad movie in the first 10 minutes when they realize they've wasted their money. The company that survived the Great Depression, 2 world wars, multiple recessions, foreign competition, and countless economic challenges is being destroyed by executives who seem more interested in impressing environmental activists at cocktail parties than serving the motorcycle riders who actually buy their products and keep the lights on. The most infuriating part of this entire debacle that makes you want to throw things at the wall? This was completely preventable. Like most disasters that make you want to scream, why did you just listen to your customers who were literally telling you what they wanted? At your TV until your neighbors complain. Harley had loyal customers who would buy anything with their logo on it. Dedicated dealers who understood the culture better than any consultant. skilled workers who took genuine pride in their craft and over a century of heritage to build upon. All they had to do was make better traditional motorcycles, improve quality control, maybe lower prices a bit to compete better, and listen to what riders actually wanted instead of what executives thought they should want. Instead, they chose to chase trends that had nothing to do with their core business and everything to do with their executives' political preferences, personal ideologies, and desperate need to be seen as progressive by people who don't buy motorcycles. The leaked emails reveal the depth of management's disconnect from reality, and it's deeper than the Mariana Trench, twice as dark, and filled with more dangerous creatures that nobody wants to encounter. While sales were collapsing and losses were mounting like a financial avalanche gaining speed, executives were celebrating their commitment to sustainable transportation and their leadership in the electric revolution, like they were saving the world instead of destroying a legendary company. They were literally congratulating themselves while the company burned around them like a corporate version of the "this is fine" meme, except less funny and more expensive. They turned success into failure through sheer ideological stubbornness and a complete inability to admit they were wrong. It's like watching someone navigate with a broken compass and refusing to admit they're lost, even when they're driving in circles in a parking lot while their passengers are screaming directions. The international implications are equally devastating and embarrassing for American manufacturing. European motorcycle publications are running headlines like "The Death of an American Icon" and "How to Destroy a Century of Heritage in 5 Easy Steps." Japanese manufacturers, who spent decades trying to compete with Harley's heritage, authenticity, and emotional connection to riders, are probably wondering why they bothered when Harley was apparently planning to destroy itself all along through sheer corporate incompetence. Can Harley-Davidson survive this catastrophic series of decisions that would make a business school case study in how not to run a company and what happens when you ignore your customers? The financial reality suggests they can't continue on this path much longer without some serious intervention. Like a corporate intervention where everyone sits in a circle and tells Harley's leadership how their decisions have hurt them personally, professionally, and spiritually. The most tragic part is that the solution is obvious to everyone, except the people making the decisions and cashing the paychecks. Stop wasting money on electric motorcycles that nobody wants, and start building the traditional bikes that made Harley legendary in the first place. But that would require admitting that the entire LiveWire strategy was a mistake of epic proportions, and corporate pride rarely allows for that kind of honesty, especially when executives have staked their reputations on being visionary leaders. What we're witnessing isn't just a business failure. It's the systematic destruction of an American icon by people who never understood what made it special, never cared about the customers who supported it, and never grasped that some things are more important than following the latest corporate trends. The thunder is dying, the rumble is being replaced by the whisper of electric motors that nobody wants to hear, and the American dream on 2 wheels is becoming a taxpayer-funded nightmare that would make George Orwell weep and Adam Smith roll over in his grave. What do you think? Can Harley-Davidson recover from this financial catastrophe and corporate identity crisis? Or are we watching the final chapter of America's most iconic motorcycle brand? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more shocking revelations about the industries that shape our world and the executives who seem determined to destroy them. The road to bankruptcy is paved with good intentions, terrible decisions, and executives who think they know better than their customers. Harley-Davidson is speeding down that road at full throttle, and there might not be an exit ramp left. Want to watch more? Click on your screen now. Thanks for watching!